I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely pissed off. This was an absolutely terrible game for Alabama. You come into this game, you do not need somebody to give you some hoorah speech. You don't need somebody during the week talking about the coaching staff to hype you up for a game like this. You should have come into this game knowing that you have to win out in this season to make it to the college football playoffs. You have to win out to make it to the SEC championship game. And you come into this game and lay an absolute egg to the third worst team in the SEC. Coming into this game, Oklahoma was 5-5 overall. There were 1-5 in the SEC, and they made it look like those two records were swapped. Jackson Arnold looked like Jalen Milroe, and Jalen Milroe looked like Jackson Arnold. What an absolute embarrassment of a performance by Alabama in this game today. I am so pissed off. We're going to break it all down on today's Instant Reaction show. But I tell you what, guys, your season's over. It just is what it is. Next week, we got the Iron Bowl. That's basically the Super Bowl for us. We'll talk about it all on our takeaways for our instant reaction here for this absolute blowout piss performance from Alabama today. But make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We will be live yet again for the Iron Bowl next week. We'll be giving away a Jalen Milroe jersey for our raffle. Some of you guys might not want the Jalen Milroe jersey after this performance tonight, but we will be live, and that will be our raffle next week. And for whatever bowl game, just absolutely terrible Pop-Tart Bowl that we play in, we'll be live for that too. So make sure you guys are subscribed. We've got free, informative, fun videos for you guys all week long, so do not miss out. Help me out. Help yourself out. Hit that sub button right now. Before we get into the takeaways here, first thing, injury news on Deontae Lawson. Left this game with what is being described as a lower leg injury, and I can only assume him going out as early as he did in this game was really what hindered your run defense in this game. You could not stop the run, but really, look, the defense only gave up 17 points in this game. If you go into this game and you say, hey, Oklahoma scores 17 points on offense, you think, oh, well, we probably win this game. That is just absolutely wasn't the case in this game today. Just an absolute embarrassment, which brings us to takeaway number one here. I forget the exact date that they said on the broadcast, but this was the first time that you scored 3 points in a football game in at least 20 years. That should embarrass absolutely everybody if you're an Alabama fan, if you're an Alabama player, if you're on this coaching staff. You should just put your head in the dirt after this game. I mean, it looks like they didn't practice all week long. And this is absolutely a terrible Oklahoma team. Both things can be correct when I say Oklahoma is a bad football team, and they also whipped your ass today. Both things are correct. They are not a good football team, and Jackson Arnold is not a good quarterback. You see his passing stats right here. He only threw for 68 yards in this game, but you could not stop them on the ground. He ran for 131 yards on 25 carries in this game. And just no matter what you did, you could not stop them. They were also very good on third downs in this game. They were 7 for 15. You're not going to win games if you do that. That's just the unfortunate thing about it. I just don't know what else to say, man. I tell you what, too, after the Jalen Milroe pick six, look, I've been a Jalen Milroe stand all year long. You guys that watch this show and this channel know that. You know I have been standing on Jalen Milroe, just fighting off the hounds from left and right, trying to say, hey, this guy is good. You just have to give him a chance. We went out there today and threw 3 interceptions for Alabama, including a pick six. And honestly, it's not like it really matters because you couldn't score a touchdown on offense anyways. So you take the pick six off, you drive down the field and score a touchdown, you still lose by whatever that is, 14 points or something like that. So I'll be completely honest. I would have benched Jalen Milroe after the pick six. He wasn't doing anything for you out there. He couldn't run the ball. Your offensive line was absolutely terrible. That didn't help anything either. The wide receivers couldn't catch a ball. That didn't help him out either. But I tell you what, I would have benched Jalen Milroe. I would have thrown Ty Simpson in there and just seen what he can do, because at that point, I think that was like midway through the third quarter. It was pretty much too little too late anyways, and you're either, going out there and Ty Simpson comes back in a miracle, or what? You get your ass kicked. So let me know at the pinned comment of today's video, would you guys have benched Jalen Milroe in this game at any point, whether that was at halftime, whether that was after the pick six, whenever you want. Let me know at the pinned comment. Type Y for yes or N for no. Takeaway number 2. I don't know the exact math because the website crashed, but I believe you're out of the SEC championship race after that game. Let me see if I can pull it up one more time here, just on the fly. Just a second ago, Auburn was in double overtime with Texas A&M, and looks like they're going to triple overtime now, tied 41-all. So don't know what's going to happen in that game, but it looks like you are out of the SEC championship race. Probably is going to be anyone from Georgia to Texas A&M to Texas as a matchup for that game. And honestly, I also think this means that you're out of the college football playoff race. I think you had to win out to be able to make it into the college football playoffs. I don't think a 3-loss Alabama team is going to make it, especially when you were already at number 7. You have another loss, I think you're probably going to drop out of the top 15 at least. Hell, after this embarrassing of a performance, you might even drop out of the top 20. It's pretty much, in my opinion, season's over for you. We'll be going to the Pop-Tart Bowl or whatever, the Cheez-It Bowl. Really doesn't matter. It's an absolute meaningless game that I could care so little about, because Alabama is a team and is a program that is supposed to be competing for SEC championships and making it at least into the college football playoffs. It's the first year of the college football playoffs, 12-team format, and you can't even make it to that. I am so pissed off at this team. This Oklahoma team is god-awful, and they absolutely embarrassed you today. We'll continue with our takeaways here in just a moment, but today's show is presented by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 different states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Prize Picks is also the only real money daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineup stays in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup active. These were my Prize Picks selections for today's game, and I don't believe I hit a single one of them. Ryan Williams, I picked the more than 4 receptions. He only had 2, so missed that one. Oh, I did hit Jam Miller, 10.5 rushing attempts. No, I didn't. No, I didn't, actually. I got that one wrong, too. He had 12 carries for today. I went with the less than, so I got that one wrong. And Jalen Milroe also had, 171 total yards, so I missed that one as well. Had the total yards basically on Jalen Milroe, 272.5. I went with a more than on that one as well, and I got every single one of my Prize Picks selections wrong today. What an embarrassment for me as well, believing that this team could go in and manhandle a just inferior team in Oklahoma. I guess that's an L for me. So sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You do not even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is just guaranteed. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. But download Prize Picks today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. It is Prize Picks. Run your game. Takeaway number 3. Everybody was bad. Now, I talked a lot of crap about Jalen Milroe just a minute ago. He was not the only one that absolutely shit the bed in this game. It was your offensive line. It was your wide receivers. It was absolutely everybody. The only person that could probably say that they played decent is your running backs. Yeah, Jam Miller, 12 carries, 45 yards. Justice Haynes only had 3 carries in this game for 18 yards. What an absolute embarrassment there. A guy averaging 6 yards per carry, and you just refuse to give him the ball all season long. Jalen Milroe couldn't run the ball in this game either. He had 15 carries for 7 yards, and one of his longs was for 11. So that means he lost yardage on almost every single play he ran the ball. He averaged half a yard. But why did he average half a yard? Because you had offensive linemen trying to pull and just running into each other. There was at one point I saw you had 3 guys. You had your tackle, you had your tight end, and you had your running back, all blocking one guy, and he made the sack. What is going on there? At the beginning of the game, you had 4 or 5 drops at the beginning of the game. That's not getting you into any kind of a flow. Over to the defensive side of the ball, you could not stop the run game for them. They ran the ball for 257 yards and 2 tutties in this game. Look, Jackson Arnold threw the ball for 68 yards. They took the Vanderbilt playbook in this game, and they chewed clock and they beat your ass the entire time. Everybody, from the coaching staff to the players, is at fault for this game. And I'll say it once again, I am absolutely embarrassed. I will say, going kind of back to takeaway number 1, I think this is the most embarrassing game loss of the season. Because at least at Vanderbilt, you had a chance to win the game at the end. At least at Tennessee, you had a chance to win the game at the end. You never had a shot in this game. You scored 3 points on the opening drive or the second drive on the offensive side of the ball, and you did not score again. Oklahoma scored 24 unanswered points on you. That is on absolutely everybody. The execution was awful. The game plan was awful. Everybody was awful. So what's your one-word reaction here to Alabama's loss versus Oklahoma today? If you haven't figured out mine yet, it is absolutely embarrassing. That's 2, so we'll just say embarrassing there. But let me know in the comments section. You guys can be absolutely honest. You can be mean if you would like to. I do not care. I am so pissed off. Let me know your one word in the comments right now. Takeaway number 4. Why do we just refuse to give the running backs the ball? At the beginning of the game, when they were trying to run the ball with Jalen Milroe, it obviously wasn't working. He was getting stuffed every single time. And I will say this too, Jalen Milroe needs to stop running backwards. There were so many opportunities at the beginning of the game where he was, had an opportunity to get 5, 6, 7 yards, and he tries to bounce it outside and runs 4 yards backwards for a gain of 1 or a gain of 2. Why? I just do not get it. And then every now and then you would give the ball to one of your actual running backs and they would actually move the ball. But once it gets to the point where you're down 14, 17, 21, you can't do that anymore. You have to start forcing throwing the ball. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous to me. I do not understand the play calling there. I do not understand the game plan. I understand starting off the game, trying to get Jalen Milroe involved with the run game because he has been good in the run game. But you got Justice Haynes, 3 carries for 18 yards. He's averaging 6 yards per carry, and you just refuse to put him in the game. You put Richard Young in the game. Why are we not going to Justice Haynes more? I am so afraid that Justice Haynes is going to hit the transfer portal at the beginning or at the end of the season because they're just not giving him the ball. And I do not understand why this coaching staff just absolutely refuses to run the ball with the running backs. They are good. They're probably 2 of the best running backs in the SEC, and you continue to refuse to give them the ball. I just do not understand it. Takeaway number 5 here. Look, the Iron Bowl is your Super Bowl. At this point, you've missed out of the 12-team college football playoffs, I would assume. Who knows? Maybe the college football playoff committee decides to put Alabama in there and shock the world. It would definitely shock me. I don't think Alabama deserves to be in the college football playoffs. I'll be honest. I don't want the 12-team playoff anyways. I'd rather a 4-team playoff. Shit, I'd rather the BCS. Go undefeated. That's your chance to win a national championship game. 3 lost teams never deserve to win the national championship game. And look, Auburn just beat Texas A&M in triple overtime, I believe it was. No, 4 overtimes. They won 43-41 in this ball game. So, we'll talk about it more on tomorrow's video, but I do believe that means you are out of the SEC championship picture, which means, look, I could care less about whatever damn bowl game you're going to. The only game that matters on the rest of this schedule, whether you're going to a bowl game, just really doesn't matter which one at this point, honestly. The Iron Bowl is absolutely the Super Bowl for Alabama. If we lose to Auburn next week, I just might off myself. Just kidding, but